Hello everyone, welcome to the Novel Garden. Today we will explore A Tale of Two Cities, a masterpiece by Charles Dickens, published in 1859. Set against the backdrop of the French Revolution, this novel tells a powerful story of love, sacrifice, revenge, and redemption. So sit back and join me as we journey through one of the greatest novels in English literature. So now let's begin. In 1775, both England and France were experiencing major social and political problems. England faced crime, insecurity, and unrest, while France struggled with poverty, inequality, and harsh punishment. People in both countries lived in fear, and the authorities often used severe penalties to maintain control. At the same time, the condition that would eventually lead to the French Revolution were quietly developing. The tools and symbol of future violence, such as a guillotine and execution cards, were already becoming part of everyday life, foreshadowing the dramatic event to come. In 1775, traveling in England was dangerous, and people often suspected each other of being thieves. A mail coach traveling from London to Dover is stopped by a messenger named Jerry from Tellson's Bank. He delivers a note to Mr. Jarvis Lorry that says, "Wait at Dover for Mademoiselle." Mr. Lorry replied with the stranger message recalled to life, leaving Jerry confused. As Jerry Cruncher travels back to London, he keeps thinking about the stranger message, recalled to life. The word confused and disturbed him, making him nervous during the journey. At the same time, Mr. Lorry sleeps in the mail coach and has a series of dreams about a man who has spent 18 years in prison. In the dreams, the man appears broken, confused, and hopeless. When Lorry asks whether he wants to leave again, the man gives uncertain answers. The dreams suggest that Lorry is about to help bring someone back into society after many years of isolation, as if he were being brought back to life. Mr. Lorry arrives in Dover and waits for Lucie Manette, a 17 years old girl who believes her father died long ago. When Lucy arrives, Lorry carefully explains that he once worked for her parents and helped bring her to England after her mother's death. Lorry then reveals a shocking secret. Lucy's father was not dead, but had been imprisoned in France for many years. After 18 years of captivity, he has finally been found alive, though greatly changed by his suffering. He is being kept safely in Paris by former servant, and Lucy and Lorry must travel there to bring him home. The news overwhelmed Lucy, causing her to faint. A strong and caring woman quickly comes to help her recover, while Lorry prepares for their journey to France. A barrel of red wine breaks in a poor Paris neighborhood, and hungry people rush to drink it from the street. The wine stains everything red, and one man writes the word blood on a wall, hinting at future violence and revolution. The area is filled with poverty, hunger, and suffering. Meanwhile, Mr. Lorry and Lucie Manette arrives at the wine shop of Monsieur Defarge. He leads them through a dirty, crowded building to a locked room on the top floor. Lucy is overwhelmed with fear and emotion as she prepares to meet her father for the first time. When Defarge finally unlocks the door, they find Dr. Manette alive, but deeply changed after years of imprisonment. Lost in his own world, he spends his time making shoes, showing the lasting effect of his long suffering. Dr. Manette is found in a weak and broken condition after many years in prison. He spent all his time making shoes and seems disconnected from reality. When asked his name, he identifies himself by his prison cell number, showing how deeply imprisonment has affected him. At first, he barely recognized the people around him. However, when he notices Lucie, he becomes emotional. He compares her golden hair to a lock of hair he has kept from his wife for many years and slowly begins to realize who she is. Lucie lovingly comforts her father and promises to care for him. She arranges for food, clothes, and transportation so they can leave France safely. Together, Lucie, Mr. Lorry, and Dr. Manette begin their journey to London. Although physically free, Dr. Manette remains mentally scared, and it is uncertain whether he can fully return to a normal life. 5 years have passed, and the story is now set in 1780. Tellson's Bank, Tellson's Bank in London is old, dark, and uncomfortable, but its owner consider these qualities sign of respectability. The chapter also highlights the harsh justice system of the time, when many crimes were punished by death. Jerry Cruncher, a messenger for the bank, lives in a poor area of London with his family. He treats his wife harshly and complains that her prayers bring him bad luck. Later, he and his son wait outside Tellson's bank for work. When Jerry is called away on a job, young Jerry is left wondering why his father's hand and finger are always covered with rust, hinting that his father may have a secret occupation. Jerry Cruncher is sent to the Old Bailey courthouse, where a young Frenchman named Charles Darnay is on trial for treason. Darnay accused of passing important military information to the French king, a crime that could lead to his execution. As the trial continues, Jerry notices that Darnay keeps looking toward a young woman and her father in the courtroom. People become curious about who they are, and Jerry soon learns that they have been called as witnesses in the case against Darnay. The chapter built suspense around the trial and Darnay's fate. During Charles Darnay's treason trial, the prosecution present witnesses who claim he shared English secret with France. However, the defense exposes the main witnesses as unreliable and dishonest. Lucie Manette and Dr. Manette testify about meeting Darnay years earlier, but their statements do not clearly prove his guilt. Near the end of the trial, the defense point out that Sidney Carton looks remarkably similar to Darnay. These resemblance creates doubt about whether witnesses could correctly identify that accused. As a result, the jury cannot be certain that Darnay is guilty, and he is found not guilty and released. And with that, we came to the end of today's part of A Tale of Two Cities. In the next episode, we will continue the story and explore the event that follow. Thank you for listening The Novel Garden. If you enjoyed this summary, do not forget to join me for the next part. Until then, take care and happy reading. Goodbye.